Good morning, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Sunday, October the 26th, 2025, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. If you are new, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all the cross stitch. If you are not already subscribed and you like what you have to see, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in the chaos. This is going to be a long video. You guys already know that because you saw the timestamp. We have a lot to go over today. A lot of whips I worked on, lots of plans. We got some voting to do. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Last week, I felt like I was getting sick. My throat is still kind of sore, but no like other symptoms. I just have like a little bit of a sore throat. Although that could be because I'm talking a lot because I'm now working the front desk at the clinic because one of our girls is out with a pretty serious illness. The other one quit. I mean, she wasn't like, you know, F that and stormed out. She just got a higher paying, better job for her. So she left. So I've been working the front desk. And so I'm talking a lot. So that could be part of it too. Like it's still kind of sore, but it's fine. So anyway, you know, a lot of people, I had some comments, but I hope you're not sick on your birthday. I don't think I'm sick. I think it's just from talking a lot. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what I got to work on this past week. Did I get everything done? Of course I didn't. I knew I wasn't going to. I told you guys that last week. This coming week is my catch-up week. We're adding more stuff to it. I mean, I worked on a lot of stuff, so that's going to drop off. But this is my catch-up week. Whatever I can't get done, we're just going to wipe it off, unless it's like one or two pieces. And we'll start fresh at the beginning of November. Because I'm off work all week. My birthday is tomorrow. I take a week of vacation the week of my birthday. I don't work the entire week of my birthday at all anymore. I stopped doing that about 3 years ago. Kind of use that as like a little reset, do some stuff around the house, get some appointments done, and I just do whatever I want. And this year, I want to stitch. So I got an eye doctor appointment, ear appointment for my hearing aids. And I'm having lunch with my mom, I think on Wednesday for my birthday. She was like, do you want anything? I was like, not really. I don't want anything right now. I don't need anything right now. So, but we're going to go to lunch on Wednesday. And other than that, I don't really have anything going on. So let's get into the stitching. So here's my board. This mess over here is the new plans. This is the Flosstuber Frenzy that I'll go over in a minute if you missed it last week. But this is everything I got to work on. So there's two projects that I have stitches next to, but they are not like done. One of the three projects. Nope, four. Two of the Monopoly pieces, Catching Rays, and then one of the Flosstuber Frenzies. Still have stitches that have to be put on them. So, we're going to get into Flosstuber Frenzy first because I'm going to tag these Flosstubers down below of who I was able to work on. And I'm just going to tag the ones who I was able to work on. There were some that I was not able to do, but at least this way, I'm pretty sure all these people watch me anyway, but just in case, this is why I tagged you. Okay, so first up, so Flosstuber Frenzy, for those who don't know, this game was created by the Alchemist Stitcher. And did I get to work on her project? I don't think I did, but I'm tagging her anyway because it's her game. But she took 12 Flosstubers, and every time they post a video, she's doing like 200 stitches on it. And the game is actually starting to catch on quite a bit. And I got sucked into it, and I'm actually going to be, I had 21 Flosstubers on my list. I talked about them, I think, last week. And right now, I'm doing 200 stitches every time they post any kind of video. Even when Jessie Marie posts a 3-minute video going over WIPGO numbers for the next month, I was like, oh God, I forgot about that. So, but yeah, every time they post a video, I will do 200 stitches on the whips that I assign to them. So, let's see, I guess I could go over, let me go over kind of by day. So I started the game last Sunday, and the two people that now I may miss somebody here and there because it is 21 Flosstubers I'm trying to track down. I do have alerts set up so that whenever they post a video, it like alerts me, but I may miss somebody here and there. But the two people that I saw post on Sunday were DM's Crafty Vortex and Becky's Madness for Crafting. So Dawn Marie, who's DM's Crafty Vortex, her piece is Coffee Break. This is a kit by Designworks. Artwork is by Krista Hamrick. And her, let's see, I do 200 stitches on her whip. I'm using everything that came in the kit, and it's a 14 count white Aida, and this is where I got to with it. So this 200 stitches, it honestly, I think I finished off a thread or something here in the border. I think I had a thread hanging and I finished it off, but the 200 stitches was a lot of back stitching. I did all the back stitching in the cup, like I had the cross stitches down here, so I was able to do the back stitching in the cup, so that's all done. I did the words iced coffee, and then I just had a few stitches remaining, so I took the rest of that black thread and I started the back stitching on the side there. So all that's left for this block is I need to finish the border, and I need to finish the bottom of the cup and the spoon with the cross stitching, and then back stitch both of those. And then I can move on to the next block. So that's exciting. I don't iron until I'm done. Actually, I don't iron until I'm ready to do something with it. So I don't even know where my iron is. Do I have an iron? I think I do. I think I have an iron. I'm not positive. I know I have an ironing board. It's in my laundry room. My iron might be above the dryer, I think. Okay, so there was that. And then the other, I think the sun just went behind some clouds, so my lighting might change a little bit. The other one that posted on Sunday was Becky's Madness for Crafting, and her piece is, yes, okay. Her piece is Cup of Cheer. This is by Shannon Christine Designs. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I am doing this with the Call for DMC, and I'm doing it on some kind of, I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of like blue-gray fabric. It's a 14 count Aida. And this is where I got to with it. So I decided, at least for right now, that I'm going to, whenever she posts a video, I think I might change my mind, but I think I'm gonna try to work on finishing this cup right here and maybe just kind of work my way over. So right now, I mean, you guys know I change how I'm gonna work on stuff all the time, but for right now, my plan is to get this cup done, move over to this cup, do this one, and then come up here and start the words, and then that way I can just start working my way across. But that's my 200 stitches for Becky's video. And then so my plan is to stitch the pieces not in the order time, like if somebody posts a video at 2 p.m. and someone posts at 6 p.m., I'm not doing that, but I am doing I need to post everybody who posted, oh my God, what am I trying to say? I'm doing them by day order with an exception. So like I can't move on to do anybody's stitches that posted on Monday until Sunday's got done, like that, right? The only exception is if they post multiple times in a week, and by the time I get to their piece for the first day and they've already posted a second day, I will go ahead and do both of those days at the same time because I have already have it out. But if they post and I do their stitches and then they post again, I won't do that second set until I get to that day. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So that was all for Sunday. Monday, Kelly at Kel's Stitches posted on Monday, and her piece is, it's a Marshmallow World, and this is by Sugar Stitches. I didn't tell you all the sizes of the other ones, but I'm not going back because I got to bend over to pick them up. This is 192 by 192. It's got like 12 colors in it. I'm doing this with the called for DMC on a 16 count milk chocolate Ada. And this is where I got to. So as you can see, I got this little motif right here done. I did some of the white parts right there. I did that bottom line right there, and I started on this one right here. I think that was everything in my 200. So there was that one. And of course, you know, I had talked about how I picked one for Dizzy Stitcher because I was like, oh, he posts twice a week. I'll get this piece done really quick. Has he posted a video yet? No. Darren. Okay. Then the other person who posted on Monday was Stuart from Stuarts and Stitches. Oh, it's right here. And his piece is Luna by Nora Corbett. So Nora Corbett is there's Mirabilia and then there's Nora Corbett. These pieces are a lot smaller. They have less, as far as I know, from what I understand, they are smaller. They have less beads and less specialty threads. So if you're looking to get into a fancy lady, I would recommend you look into something like a Nora Corbett over a Mirabilia for your first go round if the beading and specialty threads make you nervous. Like this has some beads, but it's got like one Kreinik. Everything else is DMC regarding the threads. Oh, it's her cape thing. I was like, what is the red there? Okay, so anyway, she is 112 by 153. And so Stuart had posted, I'm using all the called for threads. So it's DMC, one Kreinik, and then some beads and treasures. Okay, hang on. Using the called for stuff, except for the fabric, I'm stitching this 2/2 on a 28 count Monaco in the color Audi from Mystic Fabrics. This was a fabric of the month from September of 2024. I do not know if her fabric of the month pieces show up on her website after a certain amount of time. I am not positive. But anyway, this is where I got to with her. I worked in her hat. It looks off right now, but it's not. It's fine. I got to get this other side in here so it looks more balanced. I'm missing like this whole half. I was working this half and then I did the hat. Now it looks off, but it's not. It's fine. But I worked in her hat I'm almost done with the hat. I got this thread right here will finish off the cross stitching, and then there's like a row of beads and then a little bit of back stitching in her hat. Now, Stuart posted the video on Monday, right? And that's what my 200 stitches was for. And then he posted a like a view of the finish table at the retreat that he went to last weekend. And he posted that on Friday, but I had already done these stitches. So this is going to wait until I get to the Friday videos before I do the other 200 for this. Now, he normally posts on Sundays. So I haven't looked on YouTube yet, but if he posts a video today and I get to Friday and I'm doing his stitches for Friday, I'm going to go ahead and do today's stitches, if that makes sense. So that was for Monday. Then Tuesday, Alara finally posted a video. So you guys are welcome because she did it because of me, because she wanted to see this worked on. I was like, oh, I'm going to select this piece because if you don't post in 6 months, I won't be like heartbroken about not working on it. This is Good Friends by Sue Hillis Designs. She actually has posted twice. Heifer. She posted an update and then she posted a stitch with me. What a punk. Although I knew, if I knew this was all it was going to take to get her to post an update video, I probably would have tried to work her into my plans sooner. But this is Good Friends by Sue Hillis Designs. It says, good friends make each other laugh. Really good friends go for the snort. And then there's a little piggy down there. So she, by the time I had gotten to her piece, I had, I think I worked on this on Friday. So I had seen that she had posted a stitch with me as well. So I did 400 stitches for both videos since I had the piece out for the first one. So this is 200 stitches for Tuesday's video and then 200 for Friday's. Sorry. So there's 400. Now, I will say I've noticed a couple mistakes here. Hang on one second. Okay. 1 second, I got a cough. Okay, I think I'm okay. All right. I've noticed 2 mistakes in here. One, which I think I mentioned this before, this whole tail of the G is up 1 stitch too high. There should be an additional line right here. I noticed it because I did the F and the R, right? And then I went to go do the I, and I was like, wait, where it's lining up with this is not lining up with this. And then when I really looked, I was like, oh, shoot. So the R should be 1 stitch down because this should be 1 stitch down. The I is now correct because it's based off of this O. I think I'm going to leave it though. I don't care. And then the other thing is when I went to go do this, I noticed that one of these stitches, I think this one on the end goes over 3 holes, not 2. But I'm leaving it. I don't care. You can't even tell. So, whoo, sorry. I'm like, I'm not sick, and I proceed to have a coughing fit. So anyway, I got 400 stitches, got the entire word laugh done, starting on the little heart thing that's supposed to go right there. So that's cool. I was able to get a lot of stitches in on that. Encouraged her to post another video. So that's good. Oh, I'm doing this 2/2 on a 32 count pink splash Murano from Artiste. That's the fabric I'm using from Zweigart. Okay. Then the last piece I was able to get to for Flosstuber Frenzy is from Carla's Stitching Journey. And that is, she also posted on Tuesday. That is Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches, designed by Lindsay Waite. And I am using all DMC. There's 2 weeks, there's a Weeks Dye Works and a Gentle Art thread that is called for, but it does give you the DMC conversion, and that's what I'm using. I'm doing this on, this looks like it could be a 16 count Ada. I have no idea what color it is. Some kind of gray. And I did 200 stitches on her piece. And this is where I am. So I worked in this area up here. I have no shame in telling y'all about when I screw something up. I think I mentioned this way back in the day. For my longtime viewers, you will remember I had talked about how something was messed up, and I noticed that these two hearts, the red hearts, were one stitch too close. I screwed something up here, down here, and this stocking is what I based this line off of. It's messed up. It's messed up. But you know what? Do I care? Absolutely not. I'm not frogging. I ended up, it's hard to see, but I just did a makeshift heart. And then this bottom stitch of the heart is like going between. It's not going in the holes, it's going between. Like I was like splitting fabric threads to make that bottom stitch. And then I fixed the mug, so now the mug is the right width because this was too skinny. The mug was too skinny, so I widened it out where it was supposed to be. So now it's correct. So all I have left for this section right here is to finish the white stitching in the mug. I got to finish the cocoa itself, the chocolate, and then there's like a little straw or a spoon or something that comes out right here, and then the top border, and that'll be done. So my plan is going to be to work my way up, get all the way work my way up, get these two areas done, and then come down here, and there's 3 sections down here that need to be done, and then it'll be completed. But yeah, I'm gonna work my way up, get all that done, and then come back down here and work my way down. So there's my 200 stitches for her. We'll go over the whip and plans, but there is somebody, Andrew, the runner stitcher, posted his video on Tuesday. I was not able to get to it. I was not able to get to his whip. So I have one Tuesday piece left, but like I said, we'll go over that in plans. We'll go over everybody who I need to work on for this week. We'll go over it in plans. That was all the Flosstuber Frenzy stuff that I was able to get to. Okay, now let's go over Monopoly stitching. What was I able to get done? We're going to finish carrying this over into this coming week. A new round of Monopoly is going to be posted today. Before I get into that, I do need to say I'm having thoughts about the upcoming holiday season, and I'm debating if this is going to be the last round of Monopoly because of the holidays. Because I've been posting around every 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks it's going to be getting close to Thanksgiving, and then after that we have the Christmas season. So for those who don't play along, you guys don't care. The ones who are playing along, let me know what you think. Do you think that it's fine to go ahead and stop and make this round today the final round of Monopoly? Let me know. I'm really kind of wanting to do that because everybody's going to be busy with the holidays. I know I'm going to be busy. So let me know what you think. But if there's an overwhelming number of people who say no, keep going, then we're going to keep going. But if you guys are like, well, if you think, I'm on the fence, whatever you want to do, then this will be the last round. So anyway, first up, Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. This is from Rosewood Manor. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Designed by Karen Kluba. And this needed 800 stitches. I was able to do 400. I'm doing it with the call for threads. It's all weeks dye works, and I'm doing a 2/2 on a 32 count cream Lugano. I guess I don't need my board. This piece is too wide for the board. And here's where I'm at. So I finished off this motif here, and I came over and I started doing this one right here. We're still leaving this alone right now. I still have to go back and frog that section, and I'm mad at it, but I want to keep going with a piece. So we're just moving over to this side. So we're gonna pretend like this side doesn't exist right now. Here we go. So I got 400 stitches. This still needs 400 more, plus whatever ends up. I'm pretty sure that, you know, a piece is probably going to require ghost stitches today. So this may end up having more stitches added onto it. All right. Let me see. Let me put this over here because I got to keep working on it. Okay, then the other piece I was able to work on was Mother Nature Christmas. And this is out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine from 2023. Designed by Perry Haiti. I think that's how you say her name. She is actually Stitchora. Her shop was moved off of Etsy and is now on wizardy.com. But that is what Mother Nature Christmas is going to look like when she's done. And she also needed 800 stitches, and I was able to do 400. I am doing her with the Call for DMC 2/2 full cross on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And that is where I got to with her. So I got some, her belt worked in, and did I backstitch it? Yeah, I backstitched her belt. I still have more French knots to put in up here, but I did do some of the backstitching in the dress part right here, like in the design. And I finished this section right here, cross-stitching, backstitched the bells so that they're a little bit more visible. I'm close to being halfway done when you look at the pages. Like this, all this right here up is page 1. This is all page 1. It's a 2-page pattern. So, yeah. So she still needs 400 stitches, and then she'll be caught up. And then the last Monopoly whip that I was able to work on is the sewing desk. And this is by Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. It's regular size, regular color. It is 525 by 375, and it has 87 colors. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm currently up here working in the bear. So I'm doing it 2/1 10th stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And I'm going to show you where I worked, and then I'll open up the whole thing. Like I have a lot of work on it. I mean, I do, but I don't. But it'll be easier to show where I worked like this. Okay, so I needed 100 stitches, and I ended up doing 114 in the bear. I am now sitting at 11,000. Hang on. Can you guys see? Okay. I am now sitting at 11,709 stitches done out of 196,875. I am at 5.95%. So, getting close to that 6% mark. So that's cool. All right. That was everything I was able to do for Monopoly. There are still some couple whips that I have to do, and then the rest. I need to put her over there. I got to finish the stitches for those two. And then 2 others that I have to get to. Okay. Temperature stitching. I didn't get to all the temperature stitching. I know some of you guys are probably like, well, if you didn't do all those stitches for Flosstuber Frenzy, then you could have gotten all these other stitches done. Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but this was a lot of fun. And I don't care. Okay, so the temperature stitching I was able to get to. First up is Magnificent Wizard. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit, and it was designed by Dawn Mates. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Take that in, because this will be the last time you're seeing this for a while, because the stitches I did today finish off his goal. Not finish the piece, just finish the goal. I'm using everything that came in the kit. It's an 18 count black Aida, and this week he needed 200 stitches. And I did them in the wing. So yay. So we'll kind of take one last look at this. That's exciting. I'm holding this up for a minute because I'm trying to think if I have a picture. I may have a picture from before, like when this first, I would have already popped it up because I pulled the thing down, but I might, if you see another picture, that was like when I put this into temperature stitching. I don't remember when that was though. I don't remember when that was. So we'll see it when I update the boards, but that goal is done. Next up is going to be Frederick. This is a kit from Creative Accents, and it's designed by Charles Wysocki. This is still available through Dimensions. Creative Accents is owned by Dimensions. So I'm doing this with all the kit stuff, 14 count black Aida. I'm going to show you where I worked first, and then I'll show you the other part of it. So this is where I worked. I did 100 stitches, and I want to say it was all in this book up here. Yeah, it was. That's my plan right now, is to do that book. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. When I was working on this, I was like, what is up with that brown right there? It's that right there. Okay, I see it now. It's like this is like the top of the book, and this is the side of the book. It's like sitting at an angle. I was like, what is that? Okay, that makes more sense. So anyway, but yeah, that's everything I've done. So that got 100. And then the other temperature whip I was able to get to, hang on, let me close this back up. 1 second. Okay, the other temperature whip I was able to get to is In Her Garden. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection. Designed by Sandra Cuck. And I'm using everything that came in the kit. This is an 18 count ivory Aida. And I got 100 stitches on her, but it looks more because it was all 10, like I think just about all of it was 10 stitch, like half cross. So for me, when I'm counting my stitches, 2 half crosses make 1 full cross. And I think somebody had asked me one time how I count my paper patterns. I got these off of Amazon. They're just tally counters. And I have a pack of 4. And I use these, like, I stitch in hand, okay? When I was using a Q-snap before, I would attach it like to my project with my needle minder. But now I have my needle minders on my lamp where I keep my needle, and because I hold it when I stitch in hand. Like if I was going to work on this piece right here, I roll up from the bottom, right? Depending on how the orientation of the piece, I roll up from the bottom so that whatever is stitched already will be inside the roll. That way my hands are only touching, like if my hands are touching stitches, it's touching the back of the stitches. And then I'll stitch, right? But if I'm stitching like off a paper pattern, I just hold the tally counter with my thumb. And then when I'll do, like for this piece, it's like 2 half crosses, right? So I would do 1 half cross. And then when I do the second half cross, as I put the needle down, I'll go ahead and tap that. And it was a little bit hard to form that habit in the beginning. I would forget sometimes, but for the most part, now I got it down. But anyway, I did 200 half crosses on her. So I'm working my way back down to meet that up. I worked my way up so I could get to the corner. Now I'm working my way back down. So she got 100 stitches. Hang on. Okay. That was all the temperature stitching I did. And then bake off. Okay. Bake off. There was only one piece I wasn't able to get to, so I'll have to do that catch up this week. But this piece here, Mermaids of the Season. So I'm not telling you who is assigned to what whip because I'm doing the current season. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who has not watched it yet. So this piece here, Mermaids of the Season, I'm pretending like these are the bakers. Like these whips are the bakers. Okay. Hang on. Oh, you know what? I think this was from playing catch up. Yeah, this was actually catch up from week 6. Sorry about that. Okay, so this was catch up from week 6. So this piece needed 100 stitches, and I did it in... Oh, I didn't even tell you. If you don't know, this is from Bella Filipina this was a Sal from 2023. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm like all discombobulated. Okay, I'll show you the whole thing in a minute, but this needed 100 stitches, and I did them in the Autumn Mermaid and in her tail here. And I'm using everything everything that's called for, including the fabric. I hope I didn't show that upside. No, I didn't. Okay. Including the fabric, which is a 28 count Lugana in the color Singing in the Rain from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. This was like a collab between Bella Filipina and Fiberlicious. And so I'm using all the called for stuff, all the beads, I ordered the specialty thread pack and the fabric. So now I have a start on all the mermaids. The summer one looks like it has more stitches than all the others because I did her... So the original plan was to do 1,000 stitches in each mermaid. And Spring had her 1,000, but she had them all in her tail. And then Summer had hers, but hers were mostly up here. So it looks like she has more when she doesn't. She has the same amount. It's just distributed differently. Winter is missing like 300 stitches, and Autumn is, some of her stitches were in the border because I had to get down to a good working point for her. So not quite even with the stitches, but it does look like Summer's way more done, but I still have a lot of stitches to do in her tail. So, all right. So anyway, she got her, I got the 100 stitches in her. And when I say her, I mean like mermaid her. Okay. And then Sweet Bee was also catch up from week 6 because Sweet Bee got First and Technical and Star Baker in week 6 and then had a handshake in week 7. Sweet Bee is doing very well in this season. Okay, Sweet Bee is by Stitchrovia. It's 140 by 140. I'm using the Call for DMC. I'm stitching it 2/2 on a mystery fabric. I could have swore I bought lamb's wool, but this seems a little bit darker than what people are calling lamb's wool, like what I see on the YouTube. So I'm not sure what color this is. So Sweet Bee, I needed to do 400 stitches, and that is what I did. So I completely finished this block right here. The only exception is there is a line of backstitch that will be going along the outside edge, but I'm not doing that until I get more of this border right here done. This is a border that goes up and around. And so until I get more of that border going up, I'm not going to do the backstitching on this side. But I got this little piece right here completely done, and I started in on the beehive that's going up. So as right now, my plan is to continue kind of working my way up to the corner and maybe work my way across and then just down the whole piece. But yeah, got my 400 stitches on Sweet Bee. Mother Nature Spring, I was not able to get to, so that will go into my catch-up pile for this week. All right. And Spicy Disaster. So that was all the catch-up, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Actually, let's do this one first. So Mother Nature Spring had a handshake and Star Baker, and I was not able to get to her piece, so I'll catch that up this week. The person who was First and Technical, the whip that was First and Technical was Christmas ABC by Designworks, designed by Krista Hamrick. And I had said last week, I'm like, oh, I'm done with the icicle block. I was not done. I still had some back stitching to do. But I did go ahead and go up and start working. Once I got that done, I did go up and start working on the candy cane block. I'm using everything that came in the kit. It's a 14 count white Aida. And here is where I got to. Sorry. Okay, here's where I got to. So as you can see, I had to finish the back stitching here, and then I had 4 icicles I had to put in. And then I took the rest of that gold thread, that crappy metallic thread, and I brought this up until I had to end it. And then I started, this is going to be the word cane right here. And then this is the bottom of one of the candy canes. So there's my 100. Icicle is now completely done. Ornaments and poinsettia, however you say it, still need beads. Okay. And then the final piece for Bake Off. This whip came last in Technical and ended up getting eliminated. Whoops. That would be Spicy Disaster from Leisure Arts, designed by Lee Fisher. And this piece needed 400 stitches. And this is where I got to. So I didn't quite, I said last week, I was like, oh, I want to do the word disaster. I got most of it done. And then my thread ended and I was like, oh, let me go work on some other stuff. But I got this border done all the way around. Figured out where the bee goes because I did this stitching and I was like, oh, let me do the bee. Got the bee's little trail of where it was going. So I don't have a lot left to go on this. So that's cool. Although it's done for Bake Off now. But I'll figure out how to work it in so I can get it finished. I don't know if it's going to be a finish this year or next year though. It depends on what the future holds for the next few months for me. I got 2 months left in the year. Okay, so that was everything for Bake Off. All right, 1 second. Okay, a few more whips and then we'll be done with the whips. I worked on so much stuff. I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I just thought about, I was like, oh, I wonder how many stitches I did this week. I did 5,401 stitches. Well, really, actually, it was 5,415 stitches because I ended up doing, I forgot to mention this, on Sewing Desk, I ended up doing 114 stitches, not 100. But yeah, so I got a good amount done considering I, worked and had the boys. But anyway, so I'm curious to see how many stitches I'll be able to do this coming week. That'll be exciting. Okay, so next up is Gridiron Grind. Did I get to afternoon tea? No, I did not. That's going to be a lot of catch-up stitching to do. But we'll go over that in plans. But the piece so Gridiron Grind was created by Kim Hollenbach. Here on YouTube, she is one of the admins for Full Coverage Fanatics. And she's the Spartan Stitcher on Instagram. But she created a game that would tie in football and cross stitch. And it has taken off. So I am participating, even though I do not watch the football. I don't want to feel left out. I said one video, I was like, I don't football, but I do FOMO. So I didn't want to feel left out. So I went ahead, I just Googled the football scores because I don't watch the games, but my team, my home team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had their asses kicked last weekend from the Lions. Oh my God. Kim, yeah, your team, I said last week it was Sarah's, not, it's Kim's team is the Detroit Lions. They played the Lions last weekend and they had their asses handed to them. The Lions won 24-9. So what I do is I have a whip for the away team and a whip for the home team. And I didn't get to the away team, but we're going to go over that in plans. But I do 10 stitches per point, 100 extra stitches on the winning team's whip, and then another 100 if that score gap is greater than 10. For example, 24-9. So afternoon tea will need a bunch of stitches, again, plans. But for the Bucks whip, they scored 9. Wah, wah, wah. And their piece is Bathy Scave. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jacek Jurka. This piece is for my 15-year-old. And it's 450 by 451, and it has 88 colors. That's what it's going to look like. I'm in this corner up here. And so it needed 90 stitches. I ended up doing 100 because I forgot. And I was thinking I needed 100. So I ended up doing 100 stitches. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And that is where I got to. I did the 100 stitches over here. I'm kind of doing Stitching Mommy's method of picking symbols in the blocks, but when I was up here, I was doing like 2 rows of blocks, and then I decided that I wanted to start working my way down the side here. So basically, I'm looking at the 2 left rows or columns of blocks, I'm picking the symbol and I'm working it down, but also out. As you can see, it goes out. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am now sitting at 2,750 stitches completed. Out of 202,950, I am at 1.36% complete. So there's that. All right. And then we have 3 whips left. This next one is going to be, I'm using this piece for Andrew, the Runner Stitcher's Monopoly training. He has a challenge called Whip into Shape, and I need to whip this back into shape because I'm very far behind. So he is training for the New York City Marathon, and his challenge is that for every mile he runs, you do 10 stitches on the whip that you chose to use in the challenge. My whip is my largest piece. So now we're on the final 3 whips. Okay, so I chose to use my largest whip. This is Catching Rays. This is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 1200 by 900. And it has 134 colors. Yeah, 1200 by 900. There we go. Okay. So this piece is a total of 1,080,000 stitches. And I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. I'm going to show you where I worked first, and then I will show you everything that I've done. Okay. So I was able to get 300 stitches on this. So I'm basically right now, I decided to try to get these park threads worked in. That's what I've been doing. I've been getting the park threads that were in this section right here worked in. I may go ahead and just finish that page off before I move on to another area. But I am now sitting at, well, let me just hold it like this for a minute. I am now sitting at 36,502 stitches completed. Out of 1,080,000, I am at 3.38%. My fabric is all folded up. This will fit. So there's that. And then I did scattered stitches along the vertical edge going down because I have discovered that I will very easily get bored with a piece, especially, a bunch of sky. So I have now worked my way all the way down to the bottom here so that I have the option of working anywhere along that vertical edge there. Half debating if I should do it going around all 4 sides, but we're just going to focus on this side for right now. So, still have stitches to catch up on for that, but that's okay. It should get done this week. I don't really have a lot planned except for a few things around the house I need to do and some appointments. So, all right, anyway, next up is I finally got to work on 6 portals again. And it's at the bottom. Here we go. Okay, so 6 portals. This is artwork is by Rose Catherine Kahn, charted by Pain Free Crafts. This is my second largest piece and my most expensive. But it is 1206. So wider than Catching Rays, but shorter. It's 1206 by 800. Yeah. So if you have this piece and you don't know how you want to tackle it, so when you buy this, you have to, if you want all 6 together, you have to buy the bundle. That's why it's so expensive, because in the bundle, you'll get each portal individually, and then you also, but that's how you get them all together. I wanted them all together, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with, like, I just have these 6 portal charts sitting on my computer right now. But this has like over 200 colors. And then what I did was I wanted to be able to work on whichever portal I wanted. So I worked my way across the top, just scatter stitches. I didn't do like a full row across the top. I just wanted to get across the top. That was like a little over 800 to go from one end to another. So that wasn't too bad. And then what I've been doing is I've rotated through each portal one time, like dedicated, you know, 300 stitches, not much, not like I dedicated an entire week of stitching. No, I just, each week I worked on a portal for about 300 stitches. Now I'm trying to do it again so that each portal will have 600 stitches in it by the end of the year, in addition to the initial scatter that I wasn't really paying much attention to. So this week, so I'd already gone through each portal once, and so I'm starting back over with portal 1, and I've been trying for like 3 weeks to get it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get to it. I finally got to it. So here is the 300 additional stitches on portal 1 that I was able to get to. I did them in this corner over here. So I'll show you the rest of them in a minute. But I am now sitting at 2,904 stitches completed out of 964,800. I am at 0.30%. So there's portal 1. Actually, let me see if I can hold it out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I can. I think it kind of looks neat like that, huh? That kind of looks cool. So, portal 1, portal 2, this is the one I'm going to be getting to this week. My original thing was if I have time, I'm going to do 2 portals, but I don't think I'm going to have time. Portal 3, portal 4, portal 5, and portal 6. So my plan, it will be to like kind of rotate through them all next year, like more consistently. But I'll go over that in the plans video, which I'll be posting. I will be posting a plans video later this week. Not like immediately. I'm off all week, so it's not like I'm trying to fit days of filming into like my one day off I have. I have multiple days off. I can do it anytime. So I'll probably film it sometime in the middle of the week and then post it. Yeah, so anyway. All right, final whip. My focus piece for the year. This is Honeymoon Sunset, charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It's 869 by 649. I've been working on this piece for all year. You would think I would have the dimensions memorized, and I do not. I do know it has 133 colors. And my goal is to get it to 50% by the end of the year. And I still think I am on track to do so. I still think I can do it. My goal for the month is to get it to 48%. It's going to be pushing it, but I think I can do it. I'm doing it 2/1 10th stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And I think you'll actually be able to see my progress this week. Last week it was like I did 1,000, but I don't know if you can really see it. This week I'm like, no, you can actually see it. And I'll show you guys the whole thing in a minute. But oh my goodness, hold on. I actually did 1,001 because I did that stitches. I did the stitches and then I marked them off and it was at 1,001. I was like, all right. I don't like those tiny numbers, like the off numbers like that. Okay, so I did 1,001 stitches and here we go. So what I had ended up doing was I had come down here and I was like, let me get some of this confetti done, right? And then it was like 45 minutes and I was at 70 stitches. And I was like, you know what? Let me finish this block and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do like one of the main colors up here. So I did a length of floss in like 39.51, I think. And then I would just go back and forth. I do a finish off confetti in a block. Finish off the confetti in a block, come up here, do a length of either 9.51 or 37.79. Okay. And then I just kept going back and forth between the two. And that seems to be working where you can actually see the progress. So I think I might keep working like that. Like pick a block and just do those colors. I mean, not like end in that block, like if the thread carries. I mean, if the symbol like goes up and out, then I'm going to keep doing that until I get to a certain point where I'm like, let me just park it and I'll get back to it. And then I'll do like a strand of like a big section of color because we're getting into the sand up here, which has like chunks of color. So sorry if I've been coughing in your ear. I apologize. I swear I don't feel like I'm getting sick. I think it's just from all the yapping I've been doing. Okay. I'm currently sitting at 268,916 stitches completed. Out of 563,981, I am at 47.68%. This is my last whip to show you, in case you didn't know that. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know it's always the last one. So I just realized, I don't know if I said that or not, but here's the entire, I can't see. There we go. Here's the entire piece. Oh, it's looking so good. Yay. Ha! Love that corner. By the way, I saw somebody post on the Cross Stitch Studios Facebook page that they, like when they have posted their finish, right? And they had, I've got them too. I can see them. I don't know if you guys can see them. I don't typically point them out, but I do have lines in this piece from the different methods I was trying to stitch. And somebody had posted their finish and then they realized that they had a bunch of lines in it, right? The vertical column lines, the dreaded column lines. And they were like, oh my God, can I get them out? And everybody basically was telling her, no, you can't. You can't. They're like, no, you can't get them out. And then somebody posted, but wait, there is a method that may work. And basically what they said is that you dunk the piece in water and you roll it up in a towel and you put it in the freezer. I don't remember. I did screenshots. So so if you see this and that is your thing, I'm probably going to black out the name. I'm going to black out the name because I remember doing screenshots and I sent it to one of the chat groups I'm in. But they said if you wet the piece and you roll it up in a towel and you stick it in your freezer and then you freeze it for a few hours and then you take it out of the freezer and unfold it or unroll it as it starts thawing out, and then you iron dry it. Like you press it with the iron to let it dry, and that will help. And the girl posted a picture after she did that, and her lines, honestly, I don't know, like I still very faintly see lines, but they're nothing like what it was before. And I don't know if those lines are grid lines or like stitching, like column lines. I'm not sure because she was working on a gridded piece of fabric. But that seemed to really help. So once I'm done with this, I will try that because I see the color. I see some lines in my piece and it's fine. I don't care. But yeah, so that's something that you can try. It's not going to hurt the piece. Like, you know, some people are like, oh, you know, iron, stitch through, you know, but it's something that you can try. So wet the piece, roll it up in a towel, put it in the freezer for a few hours, pull it out. As it starts thawing out, you start unrolling it, and then you use an iron to iron dry it. Just be careful that you don't burn your piece with the iron. And that might help. Alara was in the chat group I sent it to, and she said, I wonder if it's like something about the expansion and contraction with the freezing. Hang on one second. So, but yeah. So, okay, let's get these boards updated. We got some boards to update, and then we got some selections to pick to vote, which you'll see why in a minute. Okay, Monopoly. Every time I forget to uncap my marker. All right, Monopoly. What was I able to get done? Sewing desk. I did 100 stitches. So this is going from 1900 to 2000. And my goal is dropping from 2100 down to 2000. And then coffee break I worked on, but that was for Flosstuber Frenzy, not Monopoly. So that's staying the way it is. Where is it? Oh, Mother Nature Christmas. I did 400 stitches. So this is going from 2500 to 2900. And my goal is dropping from 1500 down to 1100. And then Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. This goal is like, looks a lot different than the others because I had previously worked on it before I had changed the whatever. Anyway, don't worry about it. I don't really need to explain that. Dreaming of Autumn Leaves, I had 700. I did another 400. So this is going up to 1100. And my goal is dropping from 1900 down to 1500. So there's that board. Okay. Next up is this board here. So I have my bake-off stitching on here. I also have my Catch and Raise Marathon, and I don't have all of my whips on boards because I've added them suddenly into the plans. And I just didn't put them on boards because I didn't really have like goals for I should have been tracking how much I've been doing, but whatever. Okay, what do I need to mark off on here? Mermaids of the Season. I had 2900. I did 100 stitches on her. So this is going from 2900 to 3000. And my goal is dropping from 1100 down to 1000. Next piece is, sorry, Sweet Bee. I had 1500. I did another 400. So this is going up to 1900, and my goal is dropping from 500 down to 100. We're going to have to replace that. Next up is Spicy Disaster. Yep. Spicy Disaster. I had 1,205. I added 400, so this is going up to 1,605. And my goal is dropping from 17.95 down to $13.95, but it is now done for Bake Off. And then Christmas ABC, I had 1,000. I'm adding 100, so this is going up to 1,100. And my goal is dropping from 3,000 down to 2,900. Well, let's do Catch and Raise Marathon first. Catch and Raise Marathon stitching, I had 6,732. I got 300 stitches in, so this is increasing up to 7,032. that I've done since May. So this is since May when Andrew started training for the other marathon he was going to do. Honeymoon Sunset. I had 56,007 stitches since my whip parade. I'm adding another 1,001, so this is going up to 57,008. Oh my God. Okay, and then my goal is dropping from 14,073 down to 13,072. My percent is increasing from 47.50 to 47.68%. That was everything on that board, right? Yeah. All right. Flosstuber Frenzy. I had one board from before that I didn't have anything current on. So now we're back up to 4 boards again. These are all my Flosstubers, and these are the whips that they are assigned to. We don't have goals. We're just going to work on these pieces. Like, I'm not switching the pieces out after a certain number of stitches right now. We'll see how I feel later on down the road. Okay, so the ones I was able to get to. Oh my God. I need to get like an easel or something, or do you guys enjoy watching me battle these boards? Okay. Alara, I did 400 stitches. Becky's Madness of Crafting, Cup of Cheer, I did 200. DM's Crafty Vortex, Coffee Break, I did 200. Let me see, who else? Carla's Stitching Journey, Christmas Rules, I did 200. Kel's Stitches, Marshmallow World, I did 200. Stewart's and Stitches, Luna, I did 200. And then we'll go over the ones that I need that I wasn't able to get to when I do plans. So right now we're just going to track. It's gonna be a race. It's gonna be a race to see how many stitches everybody ends up with at the end of the year. All right. Then finally, temperature stitching. Okay. Here's my temperature board. Magnificent Wizard. I did 200 stitches, so this is going from 1,800 to 2,000. And my goal is dropping from 200 down to 0. We are done with Magnificent Wizard. And then Frederick, I had 1,700. I did 100, so this is going up to 1,800. And my goal is dropping from 300 down to 200. In her garden, I had 1,700. I'm doing another 100, so this is going up to 1,800. And my goal is dropping from 300 down to 200. So I have one replacement piece that you're going to see when I do plans. It's going to replace Magnificent Wizard. You guys voted on a second replacement piece. I showed it last week. So that's going to be the next replacement piece. And as you see, we have 2 pieces at 200. If I had been able to get to all the temperature stitching, this would drop down to 400 and this would drop down to 600. And then I have the temperatures for the upcoming week. So I think that we need to go ahead and, hold on 1 second. So this would drop down to 400, right? And then this would drop down to 600. Okay. I think we need to go ahead and vote. Let's vote for 2. We're gonna do two need something to write on. Hang on. We're gonna vote for 2 more replacements. Because I didn't think that they were going to all basically kind of wipe off the board at once, and that's looking like what it's going to happen. in the next few weeks. Or should we do all three? We'll do 2 this week, and we'll do 1 next week. Okay. 1 sec. Okay. I went ahead and I had said last week about like, oh, we'll just have to keep spinning. If I went ahead and just took the pieces off of the wheel. These are the ones that are left that are not in my whip of shame, in line to be a replacement, or my whip of shame for Monopoly. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, okay, that's right. I was like, that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's not, because that's all that's left. So we're going to select the first 2 that you guys are going to vote on. I went ahead and just reset the entire wheel, so we may end up voting for a piece that was in the running to be voted on in the past few weeks, but that's okay. First up, Irish Blessing versus a whole lot of latte. Okay, next up, for the second replacement that you guys are going to vote between, Riding the Wave versus Cat on Indian Carpet. Are there really only 2 pieces left? You know what? Screw it. Let's just do all 3. I mean, I know what they are, but we're going to spin anyway, just for fun. 3 Bird Watchers. Yeah, okay. Versus Goodnight Bears. All right. So I'm going to pull those. We're going to do a round of Monopoly. Like I said, let me know what your guys' opinions are. If it's an overwhelming amount of people that would like to continue with Monopoly. If you're not playing Monopoly, then don't be like, oh, keep going with it. Like, if you're participating with Monopoly, you're like, oh, please, please keep going, then we'll keep going. Otherwise, this will be the last round of Monopoly that we do. That way you guys aren't like you guys and myself are not trying to get all this stuff done during the holiday season. And then when I come back, so we're going to go to Monopoly, and then when I come back, we're going to show the whips that you need to vote on to replace the temperature pieces, and we have a lot of plans to go over. So, be right back. Okay, welcome back to Monopoly. This is going to be round 26, potentially the final round of Monopoly, depending on y'all's opinions. So just a quick recap. The cat is currently over here sitting on Go. The dog is over on Pennsylvania Avenue. Right there. The duck is over here, up here on Pacific. Up there on Pacific. And the penguin just got out of jail and is over here on Electric Company. So, let's go ahead and get started with the cat. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chance. Oh, God. Advance to go and do 400 stitches. Meow. Boop. Another 400 on Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. Okay. Now we're going to go to the dog. So there's no doubles. So we're going to go to the dog over here in Pennsylvania. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kentucky Avenue. And Kentucky Avenue is a red property, and it is not purchased, so the dog is going to buy it. For $600. Even though this is the last round, we're still gonna act like we're gonna keep going. Okay, so it's going to purchase, oh, sorry. Kentucky Avenue is not owned. There's cat hair right there. Good Lord, it's freaking Mr. Whiskers. So he is going to purchase Kentucky Avenue for 600 stitches. I believe that still is only 5 whips or 5 properties he owns. Hang on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5. Once they hit 6, their rents increase by 100. So he still owns 5, and he only owns one of the red. He'll only own one of the red ones. So okay, and then the duck is over here on Pacific, so we'll keep that there for right now. 9. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Landed on go. So it's going to be another 400 stitches on Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. Holy shit. Okay. All right. And then the penguin over here. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is New York Avenue. Does the penguin own New York Avenue? I feel like it does. No, the duck owns it. So New York Avenue will get he will have to pay rent for $300. Okay. That's it. So that is round 26 of Monopoly. If you guys really, really want to continue with this till the end of the year, then let me know. Otherwise, this will be the last round. So if it is the last round, thanks so much for playing along with me. All right, let's get back to the plans. Okay, we have a lot to go over. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is we are going to vote for the 3 replacement pieces for temperature stitching. Like I said, I should have just went ahead and done one every week as soon as I needed to do the first one. But we're going to go ahead and do the final 3. So you're going to have 3 things to vote on this week. Again, like I said before, you can say them however you wish, as long as you can just say something distinctive about the 2 pieces so I know which one that you're talking about. And if you don't want to vote on them, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tally them up, and we're just going to do 1 week. I'm going to announce the winner. I'm going to announce the winners of the replacements next week, and then they will be waiting in the wings to replace these pieces as they get replaced. Also, I think I'm going to drop I was debating on dropping the goal from 2,000 down to 1,000. I don't know. I think I'm going to drop the goal from 2,000 down to 1,000. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we may end up voting more often, but that's okay. All right, so first up, so the first one that you're going to vote for is, it's going to be Irish Blessing versus A Whole Lotta Latte. Okay, so Irish Blessing is a kit from Artiste. It's from like 2015. And all of these are super old kits, like greater than 10 years old. Or 10 years or greater. That's fuzz. Okay, that's my starting point with Irish Blessing. And it is going up against a whole lot of latte. I like how this piece looks, but not gonna lie, I don't like working on it. That's why it's taken me so long. Okay, so also, as a side note, this piece is not 10 years old. I don't like working on it. So it's in the whip of shame pile. It's 8 years old. I started this in like I started this after I started my Flosstube channel. Somebody pointed that out to me. They were like, I remember you posting about when you bought this kit. I was like, you know what? You were absolutely correct. Okay. That's my starting point with a whole lot of latte. There is back stitching still to be done. So even if a cup looks like it's completed, it is not necessarily completed. But this is my starting point with a whole lot of latte. So, Irish Blessing, a whole lot of latte. So that's going to be the first piece that you vote for. Next up is going to be hang on one second. Okay. Where do I want to put these? I'll put these over here. Okay. Next up is going to be cat. I think it's technically called Muppet on Indian Carpet, but I call it Cat on Indian Carpet. It's this poor cover photo. Hold it up right. Okay, this is from Designs for the Oh my God. This is from Designs for the Needle, and it's designed by Leslie Ann Ivory. Oh my God. This cover photo is just beat all to hell. So Cat on Indian Carpet, and this is my starting point with it. Hang on, I got threads hanging everywhere. Hang on a second. Okay. So that's my starting point with it. First says, Riding the Wave. And this one is a kit from Creative Accents. That piece right there. And this is my starting, this is my starting point for Riding the Wave. So Riding the Wave versus Cat on Indian Carpet. Okay. And well, let me put this up. I had to do so many cuts because of my coughing fits. I have no idea how long this video is gonna be. I could be sitting here like, oh, it's such a long video, and it's still only an hour and a half. But I feel like because of all the whips I had to show in the beginning, I feel like this might be like maybe a 2-hour video. All right, and then the final piece that you're gonna vote on, or the final set that you're gonna vote on, is going to be Goodnight Bears. This is a kit from Designs for the Needle. And this is my starting point. Now, if you are a frequent watcher of my channel, you'll know that some of these pieces you just recently had to vote between this piece and the winner. But these are all I have 14 Whips of Shame. 5 of them are currently in the temperature stitching. I've got 1 in Monopoly, and then you guys have already voted for 2 winners, 2 replacements. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's 14 total. So yeah, okay. So Goodnight Bears, and then it's going up against 3 Bird Watchers. This is a really old Dimensions kit. It's from 1997. I was in high school. I'm so old. And that is my starting point for that one. So 3 bird watchers versus goodnight bears. And I'll have the titles in the description box down below, along with this current round of Monopoly and the Flosstubers for Flosstuber Frenzy that I was able to get to, like when I showed the whips, not the ones I'm going to work on in this coming week. The ones that I've actually been able to work on, those people, if YouTube will let me, because sometimes it's a pain in the butt, if they will let me, I will tag those YouTubers down below that I was able to get to for Flosstuber Frenzy. Okay. Hang on one sec. Because we're going to go over plans now. If I was able to, if I showed you the whip when I was going over what I worked on, I'm not going to show the whip necessarily again. I'll just kind of probably just show you the cover photo. Okay. First up, so like I said earlier, my birthday is tomorrow. I will be 45. I had to think about that. Not that I don't care. I don't care, but I forget how old I am. Oh man. Yeah, I forget how old I am. So my birthday is tomorrow. I will be 45 years old. Now, I did think long and hard about doing 45 new starts, but no, let's not do that. I'm already going to be starting some stuff next year, so I am going to start 2 projects though. They are both going to be fancy ladies. First one I'm going to start is Holly Berry Pixie by Bella Filipina. I do not have her fancy flosses yet, so I may be hop, skipping, and jumping. I have to order her stuff. But I happen to have a Fabric of the Month from Mystic Fabrics that I got last June that I'm not doing it on the call for, but I'm doing it on something similar. I'm going to do it on Princess Pink. It's a 28 count Monaco. It's not going to take up this whole piece of fabric. I just want to show it. Look at that pink. This isn't even like the pink that it's showing. It looks like orangey pink, but it's not. It's pink. Whoops. Fuzz. Thought that was a pen mark. I was like, what? But yeah, oh, that's a little better. But yeah, I'm going to do Holly Berry Pixie. This just happened to go together. Like, isn't that wild? What's the call for? I don't even know. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm going to do her on this. I gotta do the measurements and see how much of the fabric I need for her. And then the other new start that I'm going to do, where is it? It's right here. The other new start that I'm going to do is going to be Hummingbird Pixie, also by Bella Filipina. And this one, I'm not doing it on the called for. I'm doing it on another Fabric of the Month. This is going to be a 28 count Monaco from Mystic Fabrics in the color Flare. So her wings are orange and yellow, but there is a dark line going around them, so I think it's going to be fine. I just didn't want to do it on gray. I didn't want to do her on gray. I wanted to do her in something fun. So I got to see how much of this fabric she's going to take up. I do not remember because she's like 128 by 305 and I'm doing it over 2. So I got to see if she's going to take up this entire piece or if it's just for both of them. I got to see if they're going to take up the entire piece or if it's going to be something where it's going to take up so much that I may as well just use the entire piece. I don't know. Okay. Next up. Let's go over Flosstuber Frenzy. So what I need to catch up on is the Runner Stitcher, filmed on Tuesday, posted on Tuesday. His piece is Spanish Sampler. I will go over details when I show the piece. But this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And oh my God, this fabric. This is my starting point. So that'll get 200. So that was Tuesday. Once I can get that done, then Tuesday will be completed. Wednesday, the Sloppy Stitch and Sisters posted they're doing a cross stitching game with, oh my God, what was that Howie Mandel show where they pick the cases? Oh my God, Deal or No Deal. So they're doing a stitching, so they posted a round for Deal or No Deal. So I will do 200 stitches on their piece, and their piece is Cookie Time by Soda Stitch. And this is my starting point with that one. So my goal will be to continue working here and finishing this before I move on to another section. Then that was all for Wednesday. Thursday, Crow Stitcher. Thursday, Crow Stitcher posted a stitch with me. And then on Friday, they posted an update. Sorry. Crow Stitcher posted a stitch with me on Thursday, and then on Friday, they posted an update. And their piece is Autumn Favorites by Shannon Christine Designs. And this is my starting point. So I will go ahead and do all of their stitches at once because they posted on Thursday and then they posted on Friday. So I will do Thursday and Friday together. So this piece will end up with 400. Okay. So Friday was a big posting day for a lot of people. Alchemist Stitcher. Alchemist Stitcher posted on Friday, and her piece is A Wonderful Time of the Year by Ursula Michael. And that is my starting point. So unless I say otherwise, all these pieces will get 200 stitches. Blushing Pink Stitches. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to refill that. Blushing Pink Stitches, hold on. Okay. Blushing Pink Stitches posted a review of some cross stitch kits that she had received. And her piece is Winter Sampler. From Cooler Design Studio. And this is my starting point. Whoopsies. Hang on. All right, this is my starting point. This is also going to be a Monopoly. So it's going to be Monopoly plus her stitching is what you're going to end up seeing next week, I think. All right. And then, let me see, who else? Crow Stitcher. I did a layer of stitches when I worked on her piece already. Stitching Moon. She posted an update. And her piece is Ocean's ABC. And this is my starting point with her piece. So I'll be continuing in the mermaid block. Stewarts and Stitches posted a video of the finishes table, brag table at a retreat that he went to over the weekend last week. So I need to do another 200 stitches on Luna. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do 400 because he usually will post an update on Sundays, which is today. Like me and him post on the same day now. So this will probably end up with 400, which will be great because then I can get this balanced out because it looks so off right now to me because her hat comes all the way out and her hair is over here and not over here, so it looks unbalanced. But so I think that it'll definitely get 200, but I think it'll probably end up with 400 because of his potential update today. I still have not looked on YouTube to see if he posted or not. And then Siski Stitches posted an update on Friday. She usually posts every Friday. So this may or may not end up with 400 by the time you see it again. And her piece is Rambunctious Raccoons by Glennon Place. So I'm thinking that you will probably see 400 stitches on this if she posts next Friday as well. And I can get to it in time. But that's my starting point with her piece. I will say, like, I'm going to go over it when I do my plans video this week, but I am going to be adding to the Flosstuber Frenzy, like, stitch count. Just right now, I'm just doing 200 for even just posting whatever kind of video. But there's going to be different stitch counts based on what type of videos they're going to be. I will be doing additional stitches. I will say this now because I feel like people are going to start posting whip parades. Well, not this week, but I will have a higher stitch count for whip parades. Okay, Saturday, only one person posted a video, and that was Jessie Marie. She posted her whip go numbers. She did her whip go video for November's whip go numbers. So her piece is Summer Sampler by Cooler Design Studio. I do have all 4 of these pieces started. I just only am actively working on Summer Sampler and Winter Sampler, but I do have all 4 of them started. And this is my starting point with hers. I will be continuing with the tomato seed packet, that's right here. All right. So that is what I need to catch up on for Flosstube Frenzy. That's not counting whatever people post this week. I feel like they all did that on purpose. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do 200 for every time somebody posts. And then like 13 different Flosstubers posted this week. I was like, what the heck? Okay, Monopoly. Where's my book? Here it is. Monopoly. What do I need to catch up on for Monopoly? Like I said before, this is potentially the final round. Unless those of you that are playing along at home really, really want to keep going. But keep in mind, we do have, in the US, we have Thanksgiving coming up in November, and then Christmas is coming in December. So that's kind of why I was going to stop it, because of the holiday season. Okay, first up, what I need to catch up on is Rocky Point. I still have not done. That's why I was like, whatever I don't get done, we're just going to call it a wash. But I still need to do 200 stitches for Rocky Point from when the penguin was in jail. And this is my starting point. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know where I'm going to work yet. If I'm going to work in the sky, because there's a lot of sky. I do not know, but this needs 200. And then Reaching Skyward, I wasn't able to get to. That is the the Sal from Modern Folk Embroidery from 2023. This is the mock-up with the colors I picked. I will go over the colors next week. It is a hot pink and a dark blue. And this piece needs 400 stitches, and that is my starting point. Okay, and then Dreaming of Autumn Leaves and Mother Nature Christmas still both need 400 stitches, but we need to, no, Mother Nature Christmas I can show you. I was good. Dreaming of Autumn Leaves, I'll show in a second because it's what the cat ended up needing first. Okay, so that's not it. That's not the one I wanted to show you. Mother Nature Christmas. Here we go. Which I had shown because I had done half of her stitches already. She still needs 400. And let's go ahead and get into the round of Monopoly because Dreaming of Autumn Leaves isn't involved in this round. So the cat landed on chance and got advanced to go and had to do 400 stitches. I still need to do 400 from last week. And also let's jump ahead to the duck who landed on go. So it's 1,200 stitches I need to do on Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. So this piece will hopefully get 1,200. I'm just happy that nobody got doubles. I didn't want to jinx myself when I was playing, but I was like, man, I hope nobody gets doubles. Okay. Although I do have 2 weeks to work on Monopoly, so I don't necessarily have to get, like the stitches I want to get done before my next video are the catch-up stitches. This round, I want to get some, but I can push some of it off to next week. And then the dog landed on Kentucky, and that is Winter Sampler. Okay, that was like, why is this piece? So, it's going to Purchase Kentucky Avenue for 600. Even if this is the last round, we're still acting like we're going to continue. So Winter Sampler is going to get purchased for 600. This is also Jessie Marie's Flosstuber Frenzy piece. So altogether, this is probably going to end up with 800. Because I'll work on it for Jessie Marie's stuff, and I may go ahead and just do the Monopoly stitches while I have it out. All right. And then Duck landed on Go. Penguin landed on New York Avenue and is going to pay rent for 300. New York Avenue is, you just saw this for DM's Crafty Vortex's piece, Coffee Break. This is going to get another 300 stitches. So we'll see how close we can get to finishing that block off. Because I was saying before, like, I just need to do the border, this and this, the spoon and the bottom of the cup, and then backstitch it. But I also need to backstitch the outside too. So we'll see how close we can get to a finished of that block. All right. That was Monopoly. Temperatures. So, starting with today. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I am so sorry. Let me just do a little coughing, get it out of my system. Hang on. All right. Starting with today, projected highs in Fahrenheit from today, the 26th, through next Saturday, November the 1st, are 87, 86, 87, 84, 75, 72, 75. Super exciting because we are getting into a cold front, it looks like. Dropping down to the 70s? What? That's exciting. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that we're going to go over these stitches plus catch-up stitches. So, bless this nest. Kit from Busilla. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Bless this nest. Temperatures came up 2 times this week. So this will get 200 plus 200 from last week that I didn't get to. So that's 400 total. That is going to bring its goal down to 200 stitches once we update the board. Like it's at 600 right now. So that's going to, you see what I mean? That's why I went ahead and just had you vote on all 3 replacements, because I got 1, I have 1 waiting in the wings, and then we got 3 that are going to be coming up soon. Okay. And then, so Bless This Nest is for the numbers 0 and 5. For the numbers 1 and 6, it was Magnificent Wizard. It is now being replaced with Walking to Town, another Old Dimensions kit. This is my starting point. This is my starting point, and this will get 100 stitches. Its number came up once, numbers. And then for 2 and 7 is Aurora Cabin. Dimensions Gold Collection. Just do it like that. Dimensions Gold Collection. This one, here's my starting point. I'm just going to fold it like this because I'm working over here anyway. There's like, that's what you're missing, folding it in half. Okay. So this is my starting point. Its numbers came up 3 times this week. So it's going to get 300 stitches for this week, plus 400 from last week, which I think is also from the previous week. Yeah, it is. I have a lot of catching up to do on this piece. So this is going to get 700, which is going to drop its goal down to 300. All right. That's what I'm saying. You got 1 week to vote because I don't know what's going to happen with the temperatures next week. Final piece for the numbers 4 and 9. In Her Garden, which I showed you earlier. Her numbers came up once, so I feel like I'm showing this the wrong way. I am. Her numbers came up once. I think I was showing it the wrong way. So she will get 100 stitches, and that is going to drop her goal down to 100. So if I get all of these stitches completed, not counting my brand new replacement, well, no, let's count the brand new replacement. If I can get all those stitches done and I update the boards, I'm not going to, like, Bless This Nest will be at 200. Walking to Town, I'm dropping those goals from 2,000 down to 1,000. Remember, keep that in mind. Walking to Town will then be at 900. Aurora Cabin will be at 300. Frederick will stay at 200 because he's not coming out this week. And In Her Garden will drop down to 100. So depending on how the temperatures are the next week, that's potentially a few different replacements we may have in the week or two. So that's kind of exciting, actually. But that's why I need you guys to vote for all the pieces now. Okay, next up, Bake Off. Week 8. So after this week, we will have 2 weeks left, and then this season will be over. Week 8, there were no handshakes. Last and technical is the mermaid sow from Bella Filipina. So she will get another 100 stitches, and I will go ahead and continue working on the autumn mermaid. Like, I'll keep working on her. So she'll get another 100 for getting last and technical. And then first and technical is Patchwork Quilt Room. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. I gotta find it. Hang on. Here we go. Artwork by Ciro Marchetti. And first and technical gets 100 stitches. And this is my starting point. I will continue in this section right down here. I will be sitting, I am starting off, since it's full coverage, I'll tell you my starting point. I'm starting off at 8,159 stitches completed out of 343,000. I am at 2.38%. Okay, so that was first and technical. Star Baker is once again Sweet Bee. So I was debating on replacing, because we only have, after this week, this is my starting point, I only have 100 stitches left on this goal. So I was going to go ahead, because Star Baker is 200, and I was going to go ahead and just do the 200. I'm debating on this, even though it'll be over the goal. I'm debating on replacing it for the final. I'm suspecting this person is going to go to the finals unless they royally screw up next week. I'm debating on replacing it for the last 2 weeks or just keeping Sweet Bee out. I don't know yet. And then the eliminated baker, unfortunately, Christmas ABC. Sat waiting in the wings all season, and then it finally came out last week for getting first and technical, and then this week they get eliminated. Like, ugh. So this will get 100 stitches in the candy cane block. All right. And then catch-up stitching for Bake Off is going to be from week 7. Toby. I didn't mean to say his name. Oh, God. Okay. Week 7. Mother Nature Spring. Did not mean to say his name. Handshake and Star Baker. Mother Nature Spring. This is my starting point. She will need 300 stitches. I guess that's not too bad. That's the first time I actually said a name on the show. Okay. All right. Next up, Gridiron Grind. I showed you the piece I did get to work on, right? And then the other piece for the away team is Afternoon Tea by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's what it's going to look like. This one, I'm hoping I can get all this stuff done. This one needs catch-up stitching, a lot of it. 723 stitches. And plus, they are playing the Saints today at 4 o'clock, I think. So Fathy Scaife will get whatever points it needs, plus Afternoon Tea is going to get 723, plus whatever points the Saints get this game. Oh, and for Afternoon Tea, I'm starting off at 1,666 stitches completed out of 184,805. I am at 0.90% with that one. Okay. Oh, we're getting down to the end finally. Okay, portals. Portals. I would like to do 300 stitches in Portal 2. And, you know, originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll do 2 portals. Yeah, there ain't no way in hell. Not with everything I need to do. I did not look ahead to see what Andrew's going to be running. I know that, oh man, is his marathon next weekend? It might be. Okay, so marathon stitching. I'm going to continue working in this area right here. I need to do 400 stitches to catch it up, plus whatever he trains this week. Which I know that he does his training where he runs like less the week approaching the marathon. So it's not going to be a lot, but then I want to say his marathon is next weekend. I think it might be next Sunday. Oh, how exciting. Yay. Okay. So then the final piece is going to be Honeymoon Sunset. I'm going to continue working in the part that is completely folded up inside. Oh my God, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to continue working in this area down here. Probably continuing with the method that I was doing before, where I complete a block and then come up and do like a big chunk, and then complete a block, come up and do a big, not a big chunk, but like a length of the thread, you know what I mean? And just kind of continue doing it like that, so that I can get those confetti stitches in and also give myself a break and work on as blocky color as I can with a cross stitch studio piece. And I didn't do the exact math, but I think I need 1,800 stitches to get this to 48% by the end of the month. So okay. Those are all my whips that I have to work on this week. Luckily, I'm on vacation. And I want to see my bag. Oh my God. It doesn't even all fit. Plus, that's not even counting any of the Flosstubers that are going to be posting this week that are not already in this bag. Because like I said, I have 21 Flosstubers that I'm using for my game. Okay, and then what do I got going on this week? Eye doctor on Monday. Audiologist on Tuesday. Lunch with my mom Wednesday. I also need to film a plans video for 2026 this week. You guys, your homework will be to vote for the 3 replacement pieces for the temperature stitching. I've also got my 2 new starts I want to do for my birthday. And then, but I need you guys to vote for the 3 temperature pieces, replacement pieces I'm going to drop the goal for the temperatures down to 1,000 as they get replaced, just so that, you know, just because 2,000 is still like, I think because there's a reason why they're old whips. There's a reason why they're whips of shame. I like the pieces. I just don't quite like working on them. I thought dropping it to 2,000 would kind of, that hit me in that sweet spot where it's like, it's a good chunk of progress, but doesn't make me want to throw it out the window. But I think because it gets dragged out, I'm like, oh my God. So we're going to drop it down to 1,000. So vote for those 3. It'll be in the description box. I'm going to tag, if YouTube lets me, I'm going to tag the Flosstubers down below of who I was able to participate or work on for Flosstuber Frenzy. And the round of Monopoly will be in there as well. That's it. Like I said, I have no idea how long this video is because I kept having to stop because of my coughing, which I apologize for. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. And that's it. So take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in. And I will see you in the next video. Another year older, because I'll be 46 the next time you see me. Bye.